Welcome as we get into our first episode. Those of you that are joining us online, those of you that are joining us on TV, and those of us that are here to actually share vividly. I hope that one day you can be able to come to where we are, we share vividly together and have a chat and hold each other's hand and be able to grow together. Why we are here basically is to be able to grow together. Why we are here is to be able to ask the questions, and why we are here is to be able to download. And this is very important, by the way. This is very important. We talk about personal growth so many times, but I feel like as we talk about personal growth, we are able to download fresh words and reminders that will keep us going, that will keep us from procrastinating, that will keep us from being lazy, and that will keep us from repeating the mistakes that we have done in the past, or that we will not learn the hard way. Wow. Yeah, I like that. That we will not learn the hard way. Okay, so I just want us to begin with a question. What is favor? Okay, I want us to talk about favor. Why? Because favor is the most prayed for commodity. If it is a commodity, it's the most prayed for commodity, and we usually pray about it in the passing. We're like, God, give me favor. I need favor. I need favor. Even, before people, before men, I need favor. I need favor. But what is favor?
Being accepted the way I am, being received, being embraced when I get into spaces. I feel like when I get maybe to go and ask for my passport renewal, I would love those people to embrace me and maybe take me through with ease. I think that's what I pray for.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As you're wondering, what have I been praying for all along?
When you translate into what you've been praying for, you realize it's a totally different thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But, so I feel like I want to personalize it.
Yeah.
I feel like in my life it has been that undeniable blessing. I want to attach the word blessing, undeniable, like you get those things in your life, you feel like, okay, you've worked, but not that really it has been really out of hard work so much, because sincerely speaking, there are things I see in my life and I can't really attach, like, here, I really worked so hard to earn this. I feel like it's that undeniable blessing that even the onlooker will be questioning, like, nayona chikola atyo kubanga their life is like this. Yes, they will say I'm hard working, I'm what, but even them, they're hard working, by the way.
But this goes beyond.
Even more than me. But I feel like it's that undeniable blessing. I feel like if there was a definition of heaven, like something
but
open.
you realize that what you're explaining is the grace. What you're explaining is the grace. Because favor is by sight. Favor is when someone looks at you and has mercy on you or a kindness on you that they would not have had as a person, but there's something else that you have that is on you that they are favoring, or that it's making access easy, very unusual, that you can be able to go through. Now, when we relate this, when we take it back to our businesses and the things that we do, because we pray for this, and part of what we want to debunk and to demystify is that you cannot just operate a business in the usual realms and you think that you're going to overcome, or you cannot run your life or run your coaching business or your speaking business or your manufacturing business and think that you're just going to have unusual access, because you realize everyone gets power from somewhere. And that power is literally to give them favor before whoever they are going to appear to. Okay? Now, there is a different kind of favor. However, during my study and my research, that I got to understand that sometimes favor is not just the luck that we want and the unusual access that we want. Sometimes the favor that we want comes by information. Okay? That the favor that we want comes with knowledge. It comes with you knowing. Okay? it comes with information. Information comes from the right sources. So if you have the right sources of the information, you have the right information. That information is able to give you the unusual access that you want to get into, even when you are building something, to say that it has been built, and you look back at you're like, am I the one who actually built this? Am I the one? And that is when it actually took me back to, you know what, whatever we are building has a blueprint. It has the foundational principles. And we know that the foundational principles of everything, be it business, be it whatever thing that we are going to do, how we live our lives, goes back to God. That he gives us the blueprint. Now, this took me to Noah and how he was told to actually build the ark. Now, the ark was for survival. Favor so many times is for survival. Favor is for penetration. Favor is for breakthrough and for breaking even. Favor is for multiplication and quickness and swiftness of the things that we are doing. So you realize that in terms of Noah, it was more about how do I survive through the storm. And he vividly heard from God telling him what to build, because he did not think about it himself. Told him what to build, how to build, when to build. But the thing that touches me most is he did not build a boat for him. Because he knew how to build, because he directed him. He was like, you know what, if you want to build, if you're to build, these are the centimeters. He even gave them the centimeters. This is how you should be able to do it. So that means he knew how it's supposed to be done, when it's supposed to be done, and who is supposed to do it. So he came and actually told him that. But the thing is, he did not build for him. Now, there are so many things that we just have to stop. The prayer is good, but prayer without action, just like we have said, has no backing. We can pray all we want. We can spiritualize things whichever way we want them. But even if you pray, your clothes will never be washed by prayer. Even if you pray, the stench on your body will never go, minus bathing. So we cannot have a shortcut through certain things and say, God, give me favor, and then it is covering your bad manners. Favor cannot cover your bad manners. Favor cannot cover indiscipline. It cannot cover your bad speech. It cannot cover your laziness. It cannot cover your procrastination. So that means that even when everything, you remember when you talked about laziness, vagabond and what, and you know that the ant does not have guidance. It does not have superiors to guide them what to do, but they keep food in winter. That means we have the blueprint that if you want to get wealthy, you must work. That I will bless the works of your hands. There is a blueprint, how to build, when to build, and who to build. So that means we have the instructions, we have the information, but favor is not going to be luck that just attaches to you or just attaches to your business without systems. And you're like, God, I'm praying for favor, and then you don't wake up to remind your workforce that this is what we are going to do this week, and these are our targets for this week, and then to find out who is falling short, who do I need to chase after, to know that, yes, I have different workers. This one is self-driven, and this one is not self-driven at all. If I don't put a fire on their tail, they are not going to move. Now, that is you praying for favor, and that is you taking the step back to come and do the things that you must do in order for the favor to be manifested in your life. Wanji? It's a hard pill because it sounds so good. Pray and it shall be given to you. Take it, claim it. And that is why so many people that are God believing are still stuck. So many people that are God believing, we are the ones that are coming last. And then now we are starting witchcraft prayers. And then we are starting kukuba mimiro. Kukuba mimi, I don't know how it's called in Luganda. We are becoming envious, we are becoming jealous, we are becoming, why? Because we are stuck And when you're stuck, every bad behavior builds a house on you. Everything. And so you become a sorcerer or a witch doctor without your knowledge. Without your knowledge. And then let me tell you, you'll even have people consulting you. As in, whoever has gossip will come and they will know this is the main shrine. So they will come and tell, Kai, did you see them? Did you do what? Why? Because let me tell you, when you are busy orchestrating and building with God, there are certain things you don't have time for. So many things that you don't have time. That someone will make a comment and you will miss it. They meant to gossip, but because your mind is occupied on what you are currently building in partnership with God, and you are seeing the blueprint, and you're seeing, you miss, you're like, what did you say? And the other person, do you know that alugambo person asobola kwekongola kuna kuvaako ngalaba byayogera tebigenda mu maaso kubanga ayagala kubamuzaamu amaanyi. But if you give someone gossip, clearly, they want you to frown your face a certain way. They want you to bend a certain way so that you can listen. They want you to show enthusiasm. As in when someone tells you about something, eh? Do you see how they over-exaggerate? Eh? And they will blow it out of proportion. But when you are building something, some of the things that drink or suck favor out of us is not minding our business. Yeah. That takes away favor, like it's an automatic favor sucker out of your life. If you cannot mind your business, that this is what I'm building, and right now I am on this level, I am putting on this brick, I am buying this material, I am, what do I need? I need to be able to be at Media Plaza every Friday. This is us building. This time, we could have used it for totally different things, and things that are not even rewarding or even profitable. But we are here because we are building one more foundation of knowledge and one more foundation of information so that we can be able to articulate, how do I build my profits? How do I build my marriage? How do I build my ministry? How do I build my marriage? Because we are building so many things, okay? So he has given us the blueprint. God told him, and he even told him that it was going to rain. Mm-hmm. You know how someone tells you that, you know what, there is old age. There is old age coming. Right now you're still strong. This is the time for you to sow. This is the time for you to work hard. This is the time for you to wake up early. This is the time for you to plug into communities where you can learn, where you can excel, where you can network, and where you can take in as much as possible. Because time is going to come when you don't have that. So he told him the rain is coming. Told him, build a boat, and gave him the metrics and the measurements of building the boat. But what God did not do is he did not build it for him. And some of the reasons as to why so many things are not built in our lives is because we lack the faith, the grit, and the tenacity. The faith, the grit, and the tenacity. Faith is what gets us started. You know when someone tells you that, you know what, rain is coming. Someone is telling you that, you know what, old age is coming. You know, school fees is going to get more expensive. When your children go to upper primary, when they go to secondary, when they go, as in, they are telling you that where you are going, you'll have even given back to more children, as in, there's a lot of danger that is screaming out there. So that means the building must happen now. So the faith is that we are building for something that we have not yet seen. We are building maybe a fund for the sicknesses that have not yet come. Because we know the coughs are going to be there, the malaria is going to be there, whatever it is going to be, accidents are going to be there, so many things. Are we believers? Yes, we are believers. And we can pray all we want against all these things, but we are still in flesh and we are still on earth and we are still experiencing the things on earth. So that means faith gets us started. Grit. You know when someone says grit, I don't know if some of us have ever done mountain climbing or we have ever mimicked mountain climbing. Those, yes, mimicking mountain climbing, clearly there are those shoes that have that heavy rubber that where you step you cannot slide to come back. Now that is grit. The grit is as in, I will stamp my foot and I am not going back. Even when someone comes falling on me, as in I have developed enough tenacity. That tenacity is the urge, the power to go, the oomph to go. You're saying, you know what, I am climbing this mountain. Now, the faith gets us started because we are building things. You don't know what the marriage is going to happen. And that is why we have some people that will tell you, you know, you're happy now, but you don't know what's going to happen in front. I was, get behind me, devil. Get behind me. I am building something. I'm building with faith. I do not have a map of where I am going, but I know my tomorrow is better than my yesterday. I know the one that holds my future. I know the prayers that I am making. I know the investment that I am making right now, because part of building is investment. We're investing time, we're investing resources, and we're investing energy. And we are like, there must be returns on this investment. So do you see that favor is wide? Do you see that favor works with us to propel us? Favor is not going to find you somewhere and just push you. No, it's not going to. Your mother can pray all you want. You know the prayers of mothers or the prayers of parents, they can pray all they want, but let me tell you, for as long as you oli kuchibuga kunongo zunga buzunzi. Mama one bwasaba ddamu. There will be wasted prayers. I know that God can find where he can position you, make you meet people, but minus the willingness to tap in to what they have. That is why people will go to places. You've seen people who behave like, I know it all. Tebagambako, they know it all. And before you know it, they are self-sabotaging left, right, and center. Instead of building, they are deconstructing. They are pulling down, because even the Bible talks about that a foolish woman tears down her home with her own hands. You do not have to call Gwanga Muje. Come, help me tear. Hey. To those who would have been your mentors. But you're showing them, I don't need this. I don't need this knowledge. I'm good. I'm good. Let me tell you, if I am not good, I am not good. If I am not satisfied, I am not satisfied. If I have to line up for that food, I will line up for that food. As in, time has to come when the pride has to get off and the ego has to get off. We have to kill that in order to make the headway and build in a way that we must build, and the things that we must be able to build. You realize that everything worth building is not cheap and is not easy. Everything worth building. Whether it's a marriage, there is patience. Well, if it's a marriage, there is putting in and trying to understand your partner, by the way, who you didn't grow up with and who changes their mood swings like a chameleon. Obo mutegera wano nga akusurprisingira wano. Lero bwanyiga ngo magutadde mu nnyindo enche ekifuba ekyenyi kye kijja okukola. But you have to hold hands again and pray. You have to be able to talk about the future. You have to be able to hold hands and face the same direction. So that is building. But the faith helps us build before we even see. The reason as to why we invest in our businesses is not because we know how it's going to pay off. And I remember when we were beginning and we were talking about the lessons of our through the week, and I think it was Mr. Haruna, Hannah Smiles, that was sharing. You realize that building or investment, there is a lot of uncertainties involved. A lot of uncertainties involved. But again, are we going to pay? And like, whoever builds, things don't work out. Let me not build. And that's the negativity the world is spreading around. And we are all buying into the negativity. And guess what? We are all seated. We are not building. And then we are busy shandering and tearing the heavens and spitting fire. But again, there are empty tongues and empty, you've seen them, and empty fires that we spit. And the devil looks at you as like, that's a barking dog. He's never going to bite me. No, even the devil screams the blood of Jesus on you. It's like, it's like, I thought I was bad, but there is someone that is actually worse. Okay, so let's go to spirituality is not magic, okay? I know that we all believe in a God, but spirituality is not magic. Spirituality is work, is investment, is faith, okay? And sometimes it's not even about what God does for us. You realize that spirituality, there's a way we want to be takers. We want to take in, give me favor, give me this, give me this, give me this. But sometimes it's what God does through you. It's not about what he does for you, but what he does through you that is the most powerful. That means that there is a partnership. And I love partnerships. There is a partnership between you and God. What he does through you is that when he says that you will leave inheritance for your children's children, that means you are partnering to build that inheritance in faith, in grit, and in tenacity. That means in seasons and out of seasons, you're still on the road. Whether there is a storm, whether COVID has hit, whether, things are shaking, whether the economy is bad, you are still, you're staying the course. You're saying, I'm not going off this course. When favor finds such a person, let me tell you, they will outdo themselves. As in, that is why people will like to work with such a person. That is why people will want to give such a person money. That is why people will want to, they will be like, that person is a person of their word. I have seen them do the same thing for the last 10 years. That means I can literally trust what they are doing. Why is it that we love listening to people that have been in, for example, if someone has been married for some time, you find that what they're speaking are gems and they're speaking from experience and you want to trust them. Why? Because maybe they know a few things that you don't know. And you're like, I would love to listen to that experience. They might not be new things, but at least there will be new insight in there. So we all want people that stay on the course. We don't want people that build this and then they're like, this one, I don't think it will look nice. Then they go and build something else and then they go and build something else. And then, no, we don't want people like that. That is why we all want partners that are consistent. We all want partners that are committed, and we all want partners that are loyal. Now, loyalty is staying the course, commitment is staying the course, and consistency is showing up on the course. But you realize that is all the foundation of favor. Let me tell you, you can bathe all you want and scrub yourself and look so nice. Minus work ethic, whoever looks at you like, yeah, she's a Barbie doll. She's a nice man. But nice men never amount to anything. Nice women never amount to anything. Or nice girls. That's why some people have a language of, she can be good for a night, but not good for a marriage. Because there is endurance. There is endurance. Are we together? Is that making sense? Or are we making it make sense in our different areas and our different spheres? Okay? Because what we build, apart from just building marriages and building businesses, we are building mindsets. You realize that you are changing your mindset. The reason as to why Hannah Smiles loves knowledge, I believe he's on his journey to build a formidable mindset that nothing can deter him and nothing can take him off course. It's like, I am reconstructing. Some of us are not privileged enough to come from backgrounds where they minded what we turned into. So we were not privileged. So that means now we are at the battlefronts fighting for ourselves. We are pulling down the strongholds of bad mindsets and we are constructing new mindsets. So that mindset can actually, it swiftens, it quickens the favor. Has someone ever spoken and you're like, wow. They did not just wake up and speak. No. It's because they have been through something, they have read, they have researched, they have done maybe that particular business, and now they have one or two things. Let me tell you, when an empty tin is speaking, you will hear that this is an empty tin. Yeah. Because it makes a lot of noise.
Yeah, it's not just a saying.
It will make a lot of noise. As in, you will literally see that, by the way, that is all research. That is not experience. That is not, they have never been through that particular thing or a situation like that. Or they're just not speaking from their heart. Or they have not built anything. Have you ever seen people that have not built anything, but they are showing others what to build? No. Have you seen spectators? and how they know where the ball must go and at what speed it must be and how kuka defender na ko and you're like bakuwejaze bakuteke yo mutisawe. But a person who has been there is one who will say, let me tell you, you can be a pro at football and you will still make a mistake on the pitch. As in, you can be the best because maybe they have seen it all. And that's why someone will extend grace to someone. Someone will know. Have you seen empty teens that talk about people that have failed at their marriages? Wanji? Me, I knew it. I saw it. No, if you have ever built a marriage and it took work and it took faith and it took prayer and it took tenacity and it took grit, you will extend someone grace. You'll be like, you know what? On my prayer requests, I am adding you to my prayer requests. Because you know that building is not easy. You will not say, that car house that, I mean, it takes this very small money to build that car house. How much money do you need? Show me what you have built. And then I will come consult you. Okay? So we are busy building mindsets, we are busy building ministries, we are busy building so many things. And then we are not building for it to end with us. We are building for generations. We are building things that we want to pass on to the coming generations. Okay? So God gives you the blueprint. What we do is we build. So we are builders. We are visionaries. And there are things that I just want us to share very briefly as we come to a close of this. The things that we need when we are building. The things that we need when we are building. There are requirements. Just like a site needs certain things, just like a product needs certain things, needs materials, needs... So there are things that we need in order to be able to build. If God has given us the blueprint, there are things that we need to be able to fulfill in order to build. Number one, building requires the truth. Okay? Building requires the truth. Because everything that we build so many times, the foundation is the most important. Okay? The foundation about where you are, the foundation about what you know, the foundation about what you want to build. You must know. I think it's yesterday that we had that team, and together with the gentlemen were here, and they were talking about the foundation, and it was so intriguing. They were talking about the men being the foundations of everything that we are building, and they were saying that sometimes your family can take the credit, and they're like, oh, you have a beautiful family, but they don't know you are the one in the foundation and you are carrying that family. So the foundation sometimes doesn't get the credit. It doesn't. But we look at the 4 stories and we're like, oh my God, this is a magnificent building. Okay? And you remember the builders, I don't remember what book that is, but where it talks about the builders that built on a rock and one built on a sand. Now, the rock is the truth. The truth is hard. The sand lies are so easy to come by. But you remember that those houses looked the same not until after the storm. They looked like they were all magnificent. If someone builds there, you'll be like, oh my God, they have built something that is really, really, really wonderful. So just look at a business that has been built on a rock and a business that has been built on sand. A business that has been built on sand, as in bugu bugu, just like they say, as in kamangu. You know, those things that you said, you borrow money to actually invest in a business that you have not made survey, you have no knowledge about, but you're like, I'm borrowing money to start a business. The uncertainties. So that money perishes. So when you are starting, there is a business of one. I told you about someone who asked me for capital, and I told them that this business, unless you invest in it yourself, and I can clearly see that you have taken a year to build consistently, I can never give you a dime for the business. No, my money is not going to be the one for experimenting. Why? Why would I do that? As in, I need to know that you will wake up every day and advertise your products. I need to know that you will wake up every day and manufacture those products. I need to know that bad times will hit and you will still show up for those products. And I can still hear from you the enthusiasm with which you started in January about your candles is the same enthusiasm you still have about your candles in December. And you can even show me your portfolio and what you have done. Then we can have a conversation. Because then, even in the middle of the year or around October, I'll be the one, I was like, I can see business is booming. I can see things are going. So what are your debts? What are your liabilities? Because sometimes we get into partnerships without even knowing the liabilities. And let me tell you, there are people in this town who are injecting money, and most of the businesses are, the husband is the injector and the blesser and the sponsor, and the woman is the one doing the business. But every month, the husband is putting in no returns on investment, as is like, let it keep her busy. She's in that arcade. Let her go every morning. I think you've had businesses like that. But is that a business? That is a wastage of time. And that is sand. Now, you can be somewhere and you clearly feel, let me tell you, when you're building, it's an uphill task. Because it's one thing after another. You dream of the impossibilities and God quickens it. After some time it is possible. And after some time it's possible, like, buliwo genda todda mabega. Now, such a person, when someone comes, just imagine a new shop or a new business, I mean, with a fresh loan and everything is putting in everything, and, even dancers, even advertising, everything digital is set up, everything. But you have been here for 10 years. Yeah. You have been here, going from your glory to another glory. Building with faith, building with tenacity, whether it rains, you open, whatever it happens, you are there. Let me tell you, the customers might come and because of lights, they're like, let's go to the new ones. And people like new things. Yeah. They will quickly run to the new thing. When they learn that the new thing, because you have not been through any fire, you can speak anyhowly to the customers. Because you have not been through any fire, you have not trained your staff. Because you have not been through any fire, you come dragging your feet at 11 a.m. to open up a business. Those that ran fast, they will buy once and they will make an about turn. It's like, oh no, we know this person. This person has been here. They are not going anywhere. So you realize that there's a difference between building on a rock and building on the sand, okay? And the rock is the truth. The truth will put you in a position where you are floating instead of sinking. Remember, we do not want to sink. We do not want to survive. We want to thrive, okay? So we want to float. And then after floating, we want God to establish our feet on a firm ground, on a rock, okay? So that we are not shaken by any situation amidst the things that we are building, okay? So build it on a rock, not on a sand. Let's go to tool number 2, because of time. Let's go to tool number 2. And tool number 2, I will still call it tools, okay? Because remember, we talked about the things that we require, or the things that we need in order to build, okay? We've talked about the truth, and the truth I've tried, I cannot go into the details, but the tools that we have to build, we are all in different seasons of our lives where we need to apply different tools. There are some of us that are here and all we need is pruning. Yeah, we need to be able to cut off certain things. And it is the tool that you need in order to build the business or the marriage. I must be able to prune. Okay? And you're like, there's a dead branch on me, and that branch, however much I try to revive it, it will never be revived. Otherwise, I'm going to deplete all the resources that I have. Some of us have dead branches. A dead branch can even be your brother, can even be your sister. A dead branch can be, a business that you have been injecting in, but it is not resurrecting, it is not nothing. There is no, and you've been channeling your energy all on it until someone has to tell you that, you know what, stop. It's not going to work. And when you cut off that dead branch, the water circulates again. You're able to ideate or to come up with new ideas of what to build again. And you realize that some of us are in a season where we need hammers. Yeah. Like where we need to apply pressure. Some of us are taking things lightly. Like it's like a joke, it's like on and off. Have you ever seen relationships that are on and off? Simanye, for us, I've received them so many times in my office. And like, you know what, now we've dated for 5 years, but we are broken up like 8 times. We break off and on, we break off and on. What is that? Wanji? That is marriage. Then that is marriage made in hell. Is marriage made in hell. As in by the time you break up once, you break up twice, you break up, and you're the one still there. You're building on sand, and then number 2, you have not applied the pressure on yourself to ask yourself the crucial question, what exactly do I want? Is this what I want? Because if you broke off 8 times in a relationship, that means in marriage, still, because there are things that are not dealt with. Sometimes we have to face the truth as like, will this change? Will this shift? Will this amount to something? Because there are some businesses, by the way, and we know they will never amount to anything. It's just a feel-good business. I think you've seen people who do feel-good businesses. And it's just a feel-good business. And you're like, and sometimes we love writing the names and you're like, oh, I'm a transformational speaker. Bakubuza ko je wali oyogedde nga tewali. As in, you have free platforms, you have Beyond Success, you have, like literally, if you wanted to speak and to be transformational, you would actually be a transformational speaker, but you love the name, I'm a transformational speaker. What do transformational speakers do? You even don't know what they do. We don't just talk about those things. If you're a speaker, speak. Apply pressure and say, by the time this year ends, I will have spoken at 50 events. So now, where's on Sekemubri calendar? Yeah. Do you have an MC? I can MC. What, Beyond Success? Where are you going? Corporate, what, Stanbic? I am coming with you. And then you can you also give me a chapter? You know? Even if there are many, let me tell you, if you ask, you are given. And now we are going to do, how are we going to do it? You go to the person that's the head facilitator. You're like, how are we going to do it? It's like, okay, so can I contribute when we start the round table? It's like, yes, that is how we get to know your gift. That you're actually building something. Some of us are busy underground researching, listening to other speakers, but you have never even opened a single microphone, not even in your recording on your phone. Even recording your voice and just saying hello, hello, hello. You have never. You have never. But according to you, and let me tell you, social media has made it so bad that the other times we needed to have business cards. So it would take time. You go to a designer and you give them the titles and then you invest money. And these days you don't need investment. You can change. In the morning you can be a transformational speaker. In the evening you can be an inspirational coach. And then the other day you can be a content creator. As in you can swing between titles without anyone asking for the truth of who you are. But is that building you or killing you? It's better actually you have no title. You just have your name and then no chikuba. Yeah. When people ask you, you tell them, I am a people developer. Yes, I am an encourager. And before you know it, then you're settling into your niche. You discover that, oh, this is what I love to do. And that is when you're like, okay, I love talking about finances. Can I plunge deeper into this? But so many of us are so quick. So the tool that you need is place pressure. You need a hammer. And you hold the hammer on yourself. Because so many times I'm in this place and I'm holding hammers on you. Because then you go and you're like, you know. But even when you go back, do you think about it? Do you revisit it? Do you place the demand on yourself? And you're like, you know what? I have been joking. And sometimes we even have speakers that speak about things they don't do. You need a hammer. You're in a season where you need A hammer. And when you're in a sowing season, you realize that sowing, for us, we used to sow with the small hose, not with a big hose, because then you need to be able to scratch quickly and be able to plant. And some of us are in that season where we need to be able to plant. Okay? And planting could be sitting under someone. Planting could be taking in as much information as possible, being teachable and being open-minded. So we are in different seasons, but we need the tools in order to build. There is no way Noah would have built without the tools. So the tools were there that he needed to build on, okay? And then some of us, have you ever seen builders building and they have that thing of level? I like it because I don't like crooked things. Like in my life, when I walk into a place, the things that are not asymmetrical or the things that are not in proper order are the things that I'm seeing. They're the things that scream. So you put a frame, even if it's an inch off, I will see it. And every time I'll be looking at it and wishing that it was right. I don't know who else is like me, but I am that until I learned to extend grace to people and be able to. But even the people that come to my house to work, they know. You bring that level. Because the maturity shows you. Because some walls are built when they are not on good level. And then someone else who is coming either to, even if it's to mount the TV, they have to be able to have a level that, by the way, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. So you realize that some of us need level, a tool called level in our lives. Yes, now you have what it takes, but you need to be aligned. And sometimes alignment is painful. Because then we have to cut off the extra edge. The extra edge obadde oyogera nnyo. The extra edge osubiza byotaakole. The extra edge, as in we need to level up, netukusalako kaka extra edge so that you can be straight. And some of us need that, okay? So the tools, we need so many tools. Some of us need paint brushes, okay? You are a good person, but you need a bit of freshness on you, okay? And a paintbrush can be knowledge. A paintbrush can be coming to this community to grow. A paintbrush can be you reading a book. A paintbrush can be you joining a savings club. A paintbrush can be something that puts more beauty, more goodness on you, okay? Not changing you entirely, okay? And then the third thing that we really need in order to build is a team. We cannot build alone. We cannot build alone. And these days, I know that some of us, there's someone who told me recently that, my team is on internet. My team is on social media. And I was like, okay, so do you ever speak to them? Do they give you feedback? No, but I learn from them. That is not a team. Those are people inspiring you. But you need people with whom you will deliberate, okay? You need people with whom you will discuss. And that person that Coach Fifi was saying that, when you have something good news, it's burning, you want to be able to share with them. But now you should be able to learn to choose your team wisely. Sometimes, some people are dream killers. And some people are dream stealers. And then dream stealers are not even bad, because when you steal a dream that is not yours, you cannot execute it that same way. The other person, you will struggle with it. It will be a cross that you're taking. Just imagine if there was another Jesus who was going to Calvary, but not to die for people. Like, you dream you steal someone's dream. So a team you can't build by yourself. You need people that help you to carry out your calling. Okay? And not people that are going to discourage you. Not people who are going to tell you, that's not doable. No one has ever done that. I have never seen anyone who succeeds in that. You need people that can be able to tell you, let's try and fail, but never fail to try. So whether it's business that you're building, just imagine the people that have spouses that are only pulling them down. You hoped that this person would be your team, but every time you tell them of your idea, you're like, nah, will turn you. Sometimes, do you even listen to yourself? Like, you speak things for, I think some people have been told that, by the way, when they come to this community, they get spoiled. And I love the word spoiling people. Why? Because when you get spoiled, that means you're making progress. That means you're making progress. You can think. You can articulate what it is that you want. But articulating it to the wrong person, sometimes your spouse is called to be your spouse and not on your team. Yeah. It's bad. Because again, they can function better if you do not keep beating your dream in their face. They can support you better. But the moment you show them, oh, I have this dream, I have these ideas, I have the, every time they're pulling them down, every time they're like, but is that even possible? And I think I told you very early on in life, I learned that Tim is a super dreamer and a super builder. And both in dream-wise and literally. Every day he's building something. Like literally, and not just saying, but every day he is building something. There's like a project he is building. So if I were the kind who was thinking, like as a wife, that, you know what, this is wastage. Every time there is something, we are constructing something. Every time we are constructing something. No, I learned that in order for me to be able to fan the flames into him, number one is to believe in what he's doing. And then number two is to learn what he is doing and do it with him. So now I will know, he can never have a contact in his phone that I don't have. If it's a builder, we both have the contact. If he cannot contact the builder, I can contact the builder. If it's a project, I know how it wants to be, and sometimes I even invest a lot more into it than he even invests. And he told me, that encourages me, that you don't know what that does for me. That means we are on the same front line. We are fighting for the same thing. But just imagine if all I wanted were the hair pieces, and I'm like, I don't mind what you're doing, but just keep the hair pieces coming, just keep the makeup coming, just keep, you know, there are people who are like that. I don't mind what you're doing. So that means when he is sick, nothing can be done. No. Tim will be sick and the building will go on. And I will even be tougher. And they're like, but like the madam. Like the madam, we to be clean, be straight. Because with him, they know, men to men, they can be, you know, but days and joke about, I'm like, work is work. If I want it done like this, it's done like this. But there is that support and there is that team believing in each other. So you need a team. And sometimes the team is not going to be your brother. Sometimes, just like the Bible says, that friends stick closer than brothers. Sometimes it will be strangers. And it will be a person that will fan your flames. Okay? So I need you to be able to find your tribe, to find your team, to find we are a community. Okay? Let's go to number 4 and then close it off. Timing. In that same the same scripture about Noah, it says that immediately he finished building, it rained. Immediately he finished building, it rained. So if he hadn't started in time, that means the rain would have found him before finishing. And that is where some of us love procrastinating. And that means we are not going to be able to beat the timelines. That favor, if favor is because of sight, and you are supposed to appear before someone, right? But because of your procrastination, you've not been able to appear before that person. Then where are you going to get the favor from? It's nowhere. So you realize that favor is a lot more. If favor is by sight, if you do not wake up from your place to go to that person's place, or to go to that palace, or to go to that workplace, there is no favor following you. That means favor will remain with you in bed. Or it will not even, you will be alone in bed. But the moment you set out to go and you're like, you know what, go with me. You know, clothe me with your favor. You know, you have prepared yourself. You have gone for that interview. You have shown up. Then when people look at you, do you know someone can hire you without even interviewing you? They interview you for the sake, but you are already hired because you have gained favor. You know, someone looks at you or someone buys your product, not because it's the best product on the market, but when you showed up with your product, there was favor attached to it because you woke up, because you prayed for it, because you packaged your goods, before you manufactured them, and then you showed up on that route. And when they see you, they're like, you know what? I will take 20 cartons. I will take this kind of makeup, not because it's the best, but because you showed up. So the timing is so crucial. And some of us have dreams and then we procrastinate on them. We're like, I will do it next year. I will do it when I have money. Some dreams don't wait for money to be built. That you can build without even the money, or you can use small money in order to build. Some of us wait until, I will wait until I have this kind of money. No, whatever you need to start now. Okay? because favor is not going to wait. That, oh, favor is not depleted. Even if I wake up 10 years from now, let me tell you, you will wake up with only aching bones, you will wake up with only sagging flesh, and you will wake up with sagging eyes and regret. Nayo manyo omukadde alina obujja bwafaanana. Nedda. Omanyi omukadde alina olugambo bwafaanana. They look like witch doctors. Ngoyina olugambo olina obujja olina futu as in buli kimu kiri kuggwe. Why? Because bye wali no color before, you did not do them, and now you are busy. Yeah, mama. Let me tell you, I want to sit with an old person. An old person that looks beautiful is one you sit with and is like, let me pray with you. Let's believe for this miracle. That old person looks beautiful. They have wisdom. They do not even beg. They're like, you know what? I know it's not easy to make money. I will wait. When you have it, even if it's your mother, when you have it, you will give it to me. I will pray for you. I will sow into you. I will be there for you. That's an old person that is taking you anywhere. But do you know that we keep running from old people who have envy and jealousy because it just feels like onokatemba tajja kugwa. Watch the omuntu akole jealous and drama because omuntu akyali n'amaanyi. Naye akota bwakola drama mugwerawa. Look at her. I love you guys. I hope that we can be able to attach action to the favor that God has called us and the blueprint of what he has called us to build, and build it with faith, with grit, and with tenacity. Okay? Love you.